What's up, guys? Today I'm going to talk about the patch. I've been needing to do this for a while. Um, Patch has been out for what, a little bit over a week now. Uh, got a lot of thoughts on it. Let's get right into it. First things first, I'm just going to give you my overall thoughts. I kind of feel like the patch made the king a little too strong, right? We'll get into the exact stats. I think the king's a little too strong, and I think it's allowed just incoming and outscaling, which is good. I used to like that where you just auto send, outscale, auto send, outscale. It just sucks that I learned how to starve. I learned the shadows starve. So that's a little unfortunate. Uh, Not the biggest fan of the patch, but I mean, did pretty good in the Nova Cup. So maybe I just subconsciously like it. But let's get into it. So we did have the new unit. We had the Cursed Casket, Cage of Pain, Iron Maiden. It's amazing AoE waves, right? Any AoE wave, wave 3 pretty much just full holds by itself. Wave 4 as long as you don't get a dino. Wave 5 not really, right? Wave 5 it's really weak. And so forth, right? AoE waves, it's pretty damn good. Save your ass on 14. As we all know, 14's a big wave. You receive a lot of sends. But other than that, it's not great. So I like the new unit. I've used it a couple big games, not too many. Just because, like, personally, if I see the Iron Maiden, Cursed Casket, and I see a lead archer, I'm probably gonna go with lead archer, right? Like a lead archer, I feel like is a little bit better. Just sort of does the same things. Uh, with this, you almost don't want to split, right? Because the swords come down, and it's a really cool thing, right? It's really cool. But with that in mind, it has its weaknesses, right? Like as games go later, you don't want to just have no split. Um, but I do like the new unit. I think it's really cool. I wish it was like outside of the casket, but that's not that big of a deal. I love the new sovereign background, right? Right. Both of these things I have, right? Sovereign background. The POTA skin is the best thing about this patch, right? The POTA skin, I love POTA. I wish it applied to the Azeria, but so cool. Probably the best skin in the game right now, in my opinion. The Sovereign looks really cool. Is anything really important here? You can pause the game if you're playing the AI. Uh, More variation for game coaches. Voice lines, card trading. New language, okay. Takeover bots will now ignore auto send. Okay, that's good. So if you left the game and had auto send on, the bot would just auto send. So that's a good thing they changed. Yeah, not much of this. They fixed a little patches with pathing. We know how much pathing is awesome. Okay, so here's where the real changes start. So what did they do to the king? They made it way weaker and way more powerful at the same time. Giant Slayer went from 14 to 17%. Attack speed and immolation damage increased by 15%, but base attack damage decreased by 40%, and then increased the upgrades. So what does this mean? This means that smaller leaks, right? So if let's say wave 3 you get like a brute and like six little froggos through or whatever, you're going to do a decent amount of damage, right? But on the other side, if you go for that expected GK on 8, right? You go for the Ghost Knight on 8, go all in, you could literally leak both people full, right? 130% leaks or whatever, 140, whatever it is. They couldn't even kill the Ghost Knight. All the creeps are full health, and you're not going to win the game, which is really worrisome because when you go for that all in play, usually you need to win right on the spot, right? Same thing with wave 12, right? A lot of people will go like 8 into 12. You're sending 500 and you get them big. But they live because of how powerful the AoE is. So what it means is if you go for that all-in play, it is really all-in. And if you don't kill them, you're probably going to lose the game. So you sort of want to not starve yourself too long. That's pretty much it with the king. Once again, not a massive fan of it, right? I learned how to starve. I learned how to do that 8 into 15, right? But now 8 into 15 is just useless, right? AoE damage reduction is higher for dual building in Classic. They're trying to nerf the Pyro egg start, okay. Cartel went up by 1 income, right? You only lose 36 instead of 37. Same with Castle. I really liked all these changes, right? Because I like playing all of these, right? Maybe not Castle as much, but I love the cash out to 273. At some point, it will probably be 274, right? But I don't think they'll ever go 275 because then you could place an egg and then that would just change the game. Fiesta gets 1 extra gold. Awesome. Counterattack up by 5 Mythium. Still not that great compared to others. Giant Snail, a little stronger. Glacial Touch. Oh no! It got nerfed. Glacial Touch still the best spell in the game. This is like when the Sea Dragons got the nerf, right? It's not a nerf. It's a little slap on the wrist. Always go Glacial Touch, no matter if there's Venture, Creditor. You just have to go with Glacial Touch. I'm sorry, it's the best in the game. Flora Pixie got a little, like the tiniest is stronger, but it lost 1 Mythium. That sucks for Fiesta, right? That does suck. But still so OP. Fiesta Rats with Pixies, or just Pixie Fiesta is just so broken. Sakura, I would still say, is not viable opening, right? Just not. Maybe if you're like Castle or something. Maybe if you're Castle and you want them to starve you to 7, as long as you hold the 7, then theoretically you should win the game with Castle. Here's the big one, the Pyro change. Pyro attack speed is increased a little bit, but the splash damage to flying units is down 20%. So they reverted it, and they buffed attack speed a touch. So what does this mean? You just go 1 less worker. Right, now you're going 6 workers or 7 workers instead of 8 or 9 workers. Right? It did get nerfed, for sure. It did get a little bit of a nerf. Right? You got to be a little more wary of wave 4. Right? The Dino in wave 4, the Hermit wave 4. Just got to count Mythium a little bit better. And know how long the waves are. But Pyro, still very strong opener, especially with cash out. I didn't even... I've been playing for a while. I did not know Gargs got nerfed a little bit. I did not know that, and I have not seen any of it. So, still spam Gargs on 15. You still open with Green Devil. They fixed the Tempest and the Leviathan, right? Because the Leviathan was bugged where it was much more powerful to just have 2 Levis as opposed to a Leviathan with Tempest around it. I still don't like Sea Serpents and Deep Coilers, but that is a pretty hefty health increase. The Poda, Aziria, yes, Queen, buff her, right? Please buff her. I love her, best. A little bit more damage. They're continuing to make Sovereign and Holy Avenger unusable. I still like it a little bit, but the more I watch the pros, right? I know I'd like to say I'm a pro, but I'm really not. The more I watch the top 10, top 20 players talk about Sovereign and Holy, they are really disgusted by it. I don't know if that means we should stop using it, right? Me and you. But definitely definitely see what your other role options are, right? Unless you've got the Holy Butcher, then I would still go for it. If you just have a Holy and you're trying to growl into Holy on 3, you don't have anything else really sexy with it, maybe not the best. Yeah, but I do like this. So they nerf the Sovereign, say, high win rate and pick rate. It's a bit awkward to release the Sovereign animated background, right? And a Sovereign skin, right? Sovereign skin looks awesome. Sovereign background is really awesome. A little bit back here. And give it a nerf at the same time. But such is our commitment to keeping a balanced game. Yeah. So I would just realize that maybe the full shift on 12 into a Sovereign on 13 is still strong, but it might not completely save your ass, right? Might not completely save your ass. Fix a little bug with that and that. Nothing really crazy. I don't like the pack leader nerf here. I mean, it's like a 50-50, right? So the damage overall goes from 7 to 6, but for bosses it goes 14 to 15. So not a big fan of it. I would still send pack leader on the main waves, right? Like, when are you not going to send a pack leader? You have to do it on 14. On those later waves, like 16. Sometimes you can go for it on wave 9. Sometimes on wave 7. Like, I would still go for a pack leader, but just know that it might not be the end all be all. I have really seen the Four Eyes take some flack here. The Four Eyes is definitely nerfed, right? Like, I don't know what the math is, but it is 100% not ramping up as fast. So I would definitely look out for that. Like, you need to send 2 Four Eyes now, right? You need to send 2 Four Eyes now, or it's not as good. I'm really saddened by the Four Eyes nerf here. Guess they just don't want you to do it. But as some of my friends have told me, now the Chieftain Cheese, it got a little bit of a buff, right? Chieftain Cheese now has a buff because now the Four Eyes isn't as strong into your massive bunk or your massive green devil, right? So maybe Chieftain Cheese got a little bit of love. So that's cool. Wave 7, 8, 9, 12. Attack speed increased by 15%. Damage minus 14%. This change keeps pack leader viable on early waves without changing any DPS. I haven't really seen any change with this. I wouldn't be worried about that. Wave 18 is back. Wave 18 is back to being a real wave. Hate to say it. I've lost a couple of times skipping it. Because you just don't expect it, right? You think it's either 16 into 19 or 17 into 19. You never think 16 into 18. So you just full build for 19, right? But now, gotta be a little scared about it, right? You definitely have to be scared of wave 18. Your spam is not working anymore, right? Because their stupid AoE thing is really annoying. And they're just hitting harder, right? Damage increased. Their poison tip pull increased. Definitely much stronger. Definitely much stronger wave 18. And I don't know if they've already decided, but they are looking for a memer. A social media memer that they're looking to hire. So that's cool too. You know? The game's getting bigger, and hopefully with that comes more positionings open, right? So my overall thoughts on the patch. A lot of the things I didn't like, right? We got the pros. I love the skins, right? I love the skin. I love the background. My POTA, so beautiful. Even the Sovereign, awesome. I don't like how the King... Like, it's good, right? It's good because you have less Starvey games. But at the same time, it's a full 180, man. It's a full 180. So we used to... Let me just get on my sandbox here. Soapbox. We used to have the game was way too starvy, right? Like 2 big patches ago, the game was way too starvy. It was just starve and overbuild, send big, game over. And then they rightfully so took rid of the double workers. So you could not starve as long because you were getting spanked on wave 14 or spanked on wave 13 because of the 8% Mythium increase. So then it wasn't quite as, I don't know, it wasn't quite as starvy. But now it just feels like, I just feel like they keep flipping it back and forth. Feel like they're flipping it back and forth. I don't know. Maybe I'm not making any sense. I just got so used to the starve, right? I got so used to the starve tactic, and I feel like this is still, I don't know. You guys let me know. I'm just sounding like a crazy person now. It breaks my heart that I've been going for these long saves, right? I go for this long save, 8 into 12 or whatever, and the other team just income sends. We get a massive 100% leak from both sides. They take 40% king, and the game is over, right? We've lost. Same thing. This was like the first day of the patch, and this is my last thoughts. The Ghost Knight thing on 8 is not a lie. Me and L1 did GK and Siege Ram on wave 8. We got the Siege Ram and the Ghost Knight through. They literally lived with 51% king. And then it's almost unwinnable. We've lost so much. I think I went after income for the Ghost Knight. It's heartbreaking. So, just look out for that. I guess you just turn that auto on and then go for a kill in the late game, right? Always a possibility. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Maybe everybody else likes it since it's not as starvy, right? I guess I turn in a shadow. But what are your guys' thoughts? And yeah, see you next time.